Kılıçdaroğlu made dozens of sentences about drugs. Resign comments rained under the post. CHP Chairman Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu shared some notes on his social media account, commemorating our police officer who was martyred in the drug operation the other day. It was noteworthy that dozens of Resign comments were made under Kılıçdaroğlu's tweet, who explained that the drug trade has reached dangerous levels in our country. CHP leader Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu made statements on drug use and trade in Turkey on his Twitter account, referring to the operations carried out. It was noteworthy that many comments were made under Kılıçdaroğlu's post as Resign, falling into the network of the gangs. Kılıçdaroğlu's post included the following statements: "Our heroic policeman, Hakan Telli, was martyred and 2 of his comrades were injured by drug lords in Istanbul. Despite the determined struggle of our security forces against difficult conditions and political pressures, it has put before us a painful reality that we have to face. Our young children, one by one, fall into the net of drug gangs. Drug addiction spreads like a contagious disease. Families are desperate. But why? They found the opportunity to nest in Turkey because the political power, which exposed the country to such an economic genocide that it needed the dirty money of the drug barons. The day has come, not only the dirty money, but also its owners allowed to enter Turkey. He even enacted more than one special law so that the drug lords could come to Turkey with their money. Thus, drug lords found the opportunity to nest in Turkey, especially in Istanbul. As a result, they started to clash and settle accounts with each other in cafes and shopping malls. Especially Istanbul has turned into a conflict zone of the world's criminal organizations and drug lords. Drugs has become a market. What is more strange is that in the operation, which the then Minister of Interior Süleyman Soylu called the biggest drug operation in the history of the Republic, everyone was released somehow. The Israeli Minister of Foreign Affairs, on the other hand, announced that Dani Aka, who was convicted for 10 years of drug trafficking in Turkey, would be released as a result of diplomatic contact, and the palace government, which received instructions from outside, released the Israeli convicted of drugs. As you know, he left the priest like this. Turkey used to be a transit zone for drugs. Now, with the support of Soray and his company, Turkey has become a market for drugs. Drug use dropped to the age of 10. The palace government has officially sacrificed our children to drug lords. For what? For the sake of staying in power for 3 more days. For the sake of financing the current account deficit with drug money. Let me share some numbers. The General Directorate of Security has published a report. According to the Turkey Drug Report, the use of methamphetamine, which surrounds our country, has increased 5 times in the last 2 years. The number of suspects in the met incidents increased by 61.5% in 1 year. Drug use dropped by the age of 10. According to the report of the European Monitoring Center for Drugs and Drug Addiction, Istanbul ranks 10th among 106 centers in Europe for methamphetamine use. The palace government, which sacrifices even the children of its own country for dirty money to stay in power, has only one goal in front of it: manipulating our nation and handing over our cities completely to the barons. We will stop this together with our nation.